One important point is how urbanization can help the whole community, the whole country actually, not just the community. I went to school because of Kampala and because of Mbarara. You can imagine. I don't think I would have gone to school if there was no place called Kampala and no place called Mbarara. Why? Of course, we had cows, we had crops. We had crops, but we didn't have money. The school needed money. Now, who solved our problems? There were monthly cattle auction markets. They are called a Konera in Runyankore. And during those monthly cattle auction markets, a trader by the name of Warsim Mpanga would come from Kampala. Imagine. My area is 200 and I think 220 miles from Kampala. But this Warsim Mpanga would come from Kampala and buy cows in the cattle markets. And my father would sell the cow, pay government tax, buy clothes for his wives, and pay my school fees. Then, so one man from Kampala is the one who was supporting me. Why? Because Kampala had become a big city which needed meat to be supplied to it. Kampala, 200 miles away, had become a growth stimulus for the whole country. Now, the other man who used to come to buy our cows was a man called Bukenya. Baganda called him Bukenya, but the Banyankore were calling him Buchenya. Buchenya. You know, the Banyankore put their own letters in the alphabet. So the man was called Buchenya. He was from a fat Muslim man. So this one also was buying from Mbarara now. Although Mbarara was not a big town, but it was having some demand of meat. So that one also would buy. Then from 1958, I started seeing a white man now, called Shea. He was based in Ishaka, and he was buying cattle for Chirembe mines. Chirembe mines had started now. So these were the three buyers of meat. We had everything. We had cows, we had crops, but we had no market. This was the problem. And I don't know where Mr. Kabuta would have got the money if we did not have initially the other two buyers, and then eventually the third one, Mr. Shea. So therefore, wonderful people, we, the indigenous people of this area, because my clan is one of the oldest in this part of the world. You go to Bunyoro, you go to Toro, you go to Karagwe, Tanzania, you will hear the story of my clan. Now, when these people are disturbing our area with UPC and DP, based on religion, Catholics, Protestants, we said, what nonsense is this? This was part of the problem. We couldn't be part of that nonsense. You come here, we have been here for 4.5 million years, and you divide us with this, the nonsense you're having in Europe. A Catholic, what is, he's a cattle keeper, he's a cattle keeper, his crops. What's the problem? We had no problem with among ourselves. So when we started the NRM, we said, down with this nonsense. Wacha ujinga wa wazungu hapa. Don't bring ujinga wa wazungu na Waarabu hapa. If those people are fighting, let them fight. Catholics, Protestants, Muslims, Christians. It doesn't concern us at all. If you say that's the best way to go to heaven, go to church and go to heaven there. But here, we are cattle keepers. We are crop people. We are artisans. After this while, we started this line of the NRM, because we are not persuaded by all that nonsense. And when we took a stand, they saw what we were. So therefore, the opportunism of dividing people should stop. Because regarding this issue of land, soil, I wrote an article about this. Everybody knows about it. I wrote an article, you can read it, all of it. I'm sure the MPs have it. We shall not allow any distortions created by any group, like those Bararo who are coming from the south. I wrote, these people read my document. Why are you going to the north? To do what? Many of them don't have good reasons. Because they misuse their own land or underutilize it and then come to create confusion here. But there could be some who come for good reasons. So therefore, on the one hand, we don't encourage the other people who squander their land in other parts of the country and then come to do the same here. Because that's what they do. You misuse the land where you started with, then you come to add the new land. But you may get some genuine cases who want to do some good work. So we shouldn't make it. If there is anybody causing distortion, we shall oppose it. We are all here. I wrote my document. I want everybody to come back and we discuss it. And the other committee which we set up will move around and we shall get a solution. So please stop the opportunism of misinforming our people. We are all here. There's no issue we cannot discuss. Now, therefore, the issue of Attiak Sugar and the issue of Lakang, the other one on the other side. In my view, apart from the sugar produced, apart from what, it is a growth stimulus for the area. Once you have got such a big project here, all the surrounding people will benefit. They will set their, I don't know how many workers will be working here, how many workers, the young man, the grandson, how many workers will you have here? The other boy. I don't let the boy run around. How many workers will you have here?
Your Excellency, currently we have 543, but once we start production in July next year, it will be 1,508 we have measured. 1,508.
In the factory?
No, agriculture is the most. 750 is just agriculture, because each machine has 3 operators.
Okay. And then the factory here?
Factory is around 600 people, Your Excellency.
So 1,500. Now, once you get that big number, and once we start sugarcane, there will be other industries which will grow around it. We are talking about ethanol. We are talking about animal feeds. This is what do you call this? The morass, the morasses. They can create animal feeds. Actually, you can support a dairy industry here. A dairy industry, the cows of milk. Because the cows of milk need molasses. So this is really the big chance for our people here. These MPs know when we built Gulu University in Gulu, how much it has caused it stimulated growth in Gulu town. The housing, people who, because the students, I don't know how many students are in that university. How many are they now? Mapinduzi, do you know? Come and tell us.
Your Excellency, I do not have the exact figure, but they are about 5,000 now.
About 5,000.
Yes, sir.
Yes. And from what I hear, that number of students who need hostels, where to stay, who buy things from the shop, have stimulated a lot of growth in Gulu town. So therefore, anybody, it is because I don't concentrate on it. Because otherwise, if I did, I would really expose anybody who is interfering with this type of transformation. The land for this one here is about 25,000 hectares or acres or what? Huh?
25,000 acres.
25,000 acres. The whole of Acholi is like 27,000 square kilometers. Now, what is 25,000 acres out of 27,000 square kilometers? You can calculate it. Even if you deduct Attiak, you deduct Lakang, you deduct Aswa because Aswa is government land, and the part of actually which was put in the national park, in Kamarega National Park, how many square kilometers of actually remain? Why can't we, these ones, work as a stimulus for the others? So those people who are pushing that line of Mewa are really enemies of Acholi, but also enemies of Uganda and Africa. The Ankole area, quite a bit of part was put in Queen Elizabeth National Park. Then there are forest reserves. Then there is the Kamburo National Park. But Ankole area is growing. Then there are immigrants from other countries, from Rwanda, from Kigezi. But if you look at prosperity, those fellows are doing quite well. So therefore, please, the importance of Attiak is that it's a useful growth stimulus. This big gathering of people here will create opportunities for our people in our Acholi area, apart from producing the sugar and so on and so forth. I produce milk at Roystra. For a liter of milk, they give me 500 shillings. Sometimes it goes to even 400. But in Savambi, when Savambi was producing milk in Kampala, near Kampala, he was getting 1,500 shillings for his 1 liter. Why? Because Savambi was near the big market of Kampala. And me, I was far away from that big market. That's why Savambi was getting more money for the same liter after my milk is better than Savambi's. But because he's near this big group of consumers, the 3 million, 4 million, 5 million Campanians who are always in the dance, in the music and what, but they are buying, they buy. So he gets more money. So therefore, urbanization, especially urbanization of industrialization, is very, very important for the area. And anybody who really opposes that, either he's blind or is an enemy of the people. We cannot allow anybody to marginalize any Ugandan. If there is any problem, we shall address it. Sometimes you get those distortions, like in Uganda, you have some issue of some internal colonialism, internal sub-colonialism, where you get the Baganda dominating the Baruri and so on. We shall address it. But that should not be taken to mean that there should be no integration. Integration is good if it is done properly. So therefore, I really want to thank Amina to have started this project. I want to thank Mao for having promoted it, although he was on the wrong side. I want to thank the family of Mzee Amayo for rejecting the wrong opinions of a mistaken majority. People who have wrong ideas, even if there are many, you shouldn't go along with them. In 1971, when Amin came to power, my area was mainly DP. So when I opposed Amin, Banyankole said, Kakuta's son is a vagabond. That I was a vagabond. Kakuta naturally, Kakuta's son is a vagabond because he has gone with Obote. And they invited Idi Amin and gave him 800 cows. That Amin was a savior because he had because they were mainly DP. So for them, they were looking at it in the DP-UPC war. But in no time, I was being called a David. That I was a David. I was a David who defeated Goliath. I was now a savior now. People who were calling me a vagabond because I was right. Very soon they changed and they were calling me a savior. So if you are right, you insist. You don't listen to the people who are mistaken. Because we shall have to see how to reward that Amayo family, to reward them in not just thank them, say apoyo, no, that's not enough. Because they did this, so what do we do for them? I think we shall have to sit down and discuss it. I have not followed it up myself, but I think we should follow it up and give them support. Now coming to, I want to thank of course, the problem which Amina faced was that she had started a good project, but had borrowed money from commercial banks. And then there were delays and so on, and then she could not service the loans. We therefore had to come in. I had no hesitation in coming in, because how could such a project for this area be allowed to die? There's no way I could allow it to die. So we came in, and they have been guiding us. We have bought the equipment which you saw for growing the sugarcane. Now, the other issues, this argument between Honorable Minister Museveni and the company, I want to be the judge. I want to sit down and be the chief judge and guide you, because you heard what was implied in what Honorable Museveni was saying. The company are saying, let's plant more sugarcane, more sugarcane, more sugarcane. Let's plant enough sugarcane. And the sugarcane which has already sort of come up, let it be to plant more. Now, the ministry people under Honorable Museveni seem to be saying, no, use part of the sugarcane which has come up to produce sugar here in the factory, although you are doing it on a small scale. Now, I want my PPS to call these people after the 20th of April, so to discuss it and decide, guide them. My PPS, please, let's have this meeting and resolve it. Now, regarding the other issues of the water from the Nile and the houses for the workers, we shall also discuss it. But it's good that the sugarcane now is grown, the equipment is here. We shall also discuss the issue of the community, because what the young boy told me, the company can grow their own sugarcane now. They no longer need the outgrowers, which is what I had warned the Madvanis about. Because sugarcane is not a high value crop. In my view, it should never have been grown by the small holders. The small holders should follow our 4 acres model of 1996. 1 acre for coffee, 1 acre for fruits, 1 acre for pasture for cows, dairy cows, food, fish farming, piggery, poultry. This is what is good for the small holders. Sugarcane, cotton, maize, and so on, these are for large-scale farmers. So if the company here has found a way of producing their own sugar, I don't think we should fight them on that. But now, we shall see how to support the other farmers to do what will give them more money. What will give them more money? Now, when the young boy briefed me, he was talking of vegetables and tomatoes and so on. I said, where would you send them? He stopped imports. He said he would send them to South Sudan. Suppose we had said, yes, you may send them to South Sudan now, because South Sudan is still unstable. But in the future, when they are stable, young man, where will you send these? They may produce their own tomatoes, they may produce their own onions. Where will you send them? That's why, if you read my booklets, what I really recommend to our people are products which have got a national demand, a regional demand, and international demand. So that in the future, Even if South Sudan stabilizes and they start producing their own onions. So that's why I would like you, when you come, we shall talk about products like fruits, like cashew nut, like which have got like avocado, which have got a demand beyond the region. So even if South Sudan produces their own products, we can export to other areas beyond East Africa and beyond Uganda. So therefore, PPS, please, after the 20th, I want to meet this group and we conclude and we move. But I'm very happy what I've seen. Thank you very much for what you have done. I thank the government. I thank the UDC. But let's move. Let's not relax. And the political leaders, please stop diverting our people. Well, I landed near some town somewhere there, and I drove some distance up to here. I saw some cassava, small gardens of cassava. I don't see any commercial crop other than so. Honorable Omona, what is happening in this area? Why don't they have some fruits, some commercial? What is the problem? I know the members of parliament are from opposition, but now Omona, you are here, and the other DCs, if the MPs don't want to listen to my advice of producing for the stomach, to teach me each can producing for the stomach, teach me each, but also producing for the pocket. We are going to meet and conclude the rest. Appointment.